If you've been following our channel lately, you may have noticed we've had a little break from Canva, but now we're coming back with a vengeance, creating 2 or 3 videos during the course of the week, looking at some of the different aspects. One, which is coming up, we'll be looking at automation processes and how we can make things quicker. This one's very much a nuts and bolts approach to the essential benefits of Canva. Why we at Pixelhaze use it on a daily basis, why we don't tend to turn up our nose to Canva as a professional level design software. And that main reason is flexibility and the ability to share our designs with our clients. So we can create the core designs, then our clients can step in if they want to, and edit and update any information on those original designs without having to come back to us for even the smallest changes. Today is going to be very much about the nuts and bolts process, and we're going to be looking at business stationery, how we can take an existing logo and then roll it out efficiently to create letterheads, compliment slips, and email footers. We're going to start off with our own Pixelhaze brand because we've got the brand toolkit already uploaded because we pay for the Canva Pro account, but also we're going to be showing how you can do it with just a logo template that we'll find on Canva and how you can do it on the free plan. Let's crack on.
If you want to give the pro version of Canva a try, we have left a link in the description for the 30-day trial. If you are a teacher, student, or lecturer, you might be able to gain access to Canva Pro for free.
I've just done a quick search for letterhead here and then just see some of the templates. So if I click see all, let's pick a starting template for our letterhead. I want something pretty clean, nothing too fussy. That will lend itself well to a very simplistic, minimalist style approach. Let's go for this. Okay, we're going to customize that template. And first of all, I wanted to show you how we can get this template on brand to our designs. So if I go to Uploads first, I'll go to our Pixelhaze folder. We've got a load of designs here. I've got to find our logo. So I can see the shorthand version of the logo here, but I'd actually want the full Pixelhaze longer version. Hopefully I've updated it. If not, we'll go for something else. Okay, I've uploaded it here as a white logo. So we can use the duotone effect to change that color to our brand colors. So to edit that image, doesn't matter what color you start with, and then we're going to change it to our Pixelhaze navy color. Okay, so that's step one. Looks a bit pixelated here, but every time I printed it off as a PDF or downloaded it, it seems to be fine. Another option is just upload a PNG graphic if you want transparency behind it. So at the moment, if I was to move this over top of the line, you can see here there's transparency on the logo, so it's not in a white container. That means if you wanted to change the color of the background or anything else, we've got that opportunity. I'm not going to be changing the details on this design. It's pretty straightforward to do. We just click in and change the text. We might have to change the size of the containers to allow for new text, especially if it's longer. But I didn't want to take you through the entire process of fully customizing this to a design. Because what I wanted to show you instead is just how we can use this and just adapt it to the style that we want. If we go to Design, then go to Styles, this is on the Pro plan only, but if you are willing to just spend a little bit longer, you don't need the Pro plan to achieve what we're going to be covering today. So I can select the colors now based on our brand colors. And it's going through a series of combinations based on our designs. So I'm shuffling through. I think I'm going to go with that, but then change the green, because the green's very much a secondary color that we use for things like our presentations. And I don't really want that in the core design. Our primary colors are generally the navy, electric blue, yellow and white, and then these colors become secondary colors to complement the designs. These icons here now we need to change. I don't want them actually yellow because they won't be able to see them, so I'm going to go with navy for that. I'm hoping we can use the paint roller effect. Now I can never remember. That's it. I can never remember how to use the copy style option, so no, the wrong way around again. So again. So you select the item that you want to copy the style from and then click on the other items. That's a really quick way of just getting everything the right color without having to go through and change the color swatch up here every single time. I'm not sure about this horizontal line. We could rotate it and put a different line in. I could change the weight, or I could just reflect this line here. So I'm going to move this down. Probably helps if I command and minus on a Mac just to zoom out. I'm just sorting this by eye. What I want to do now is swap the colors around, but I might be able to rotate it 180 degrees. As shown, it snaps to 180 and 90 degrees, so that's quite handy. And now we've got that reversed effect, top and bottom. Okay, let's say that's what we want. Great. Now let's move on to some of our other documents. So we go back to the templates and home. I'm going to see if there's any other designs from that set by the same designer. Now, so I'm going to create a blank business card this time. And now we're going to copy these elements across into our business card design. It will auto resize them. So you might find it's not quite covering what you need, but that's where we can change it afterwards. So I've got those two colors there. Again, I can just lift them off the bottom of the design. And then bring this content in so we're matching when we're jumping between the two. Letterhead comp slip. There's a consistency there as well. One thing we can see here, and this is something you need to watch out for, is the font size is 4.4. I wouldn't go below 8 if you can get away with it. Definitely not below 6. So we'll go to 7. Otherwise, you'll have a nasty surprise when it comes back from print, where your business card text is illegible. It's too small. So the one thing that would be quite nice for Canva actually to bring in a print warning with that, because it should recognize it's a business card document, and a print warning saying that that text will be too small to read would be really helpful. One thing I forgot to do on the letterhead design, which I need to, is change the font. So I'm going to do that on both now while I remember. There we go. Thankfully, that hasn't changed too much. The core fonts are similar sizes, so we haven't lost anything in terms of detail there. What we're going to do as a final step is put a title in. So I'm going to copy paste. Align the text to the left. However, if you're on a pro account, again, add a text block and it will match the font that you've added. Let's just drop that font size down to 6. 5.2, but I'm going to bring it all up to bring it 6 or 6.1. Let's get it to 6. Okay. Now we can align that text to the left. And our final step, this is a pretty standard looking business card, but I'm not too worried. Today is more about showing you how to work with these designs. So I'm going to search for a frame. I'm going to add a circular frame in, and we'll just find a stock photo to replace my mugshot. Like I will do. So we now have a core design for a business card. If we wanted to replicate this then for multiple personnel in the company, we can just duplicate the page or press Command D, and then we can edit the individual business cards. If you're a larger company and you've been tasked with doing this for 100 people or more, then I would really recommend checking out the Canva Chrome extension to allow you to automate that process, essentially mail merge for Canva designs. I've just created a video and I'll link to it from this one. Okay, so we've got a business card, we've got a letterhead. If we wanted a compliment slip, again, we've got two options. We could either delete all the extra text from this letterhead and then divide the page up into threes, although what I'd recommend would be the resize option, and then we've got the option to copy and resize. So what we would do is divide the height by 3, and then that would give us a DL size, or 1/3 A4, which is standard for compliment slips. I did say I would show you very quickly how to create a letterhead without having your own branding, being able to use these shortcuts. So let's just have a quick go at doing that now before we wrap up. So again, letterhead. And let's just say we're going to choose this one and adapt it to a logo design. So I'm going to create a new logo template. There we go. We'll go for that real estate one. Minimalistic style, monochrome color palette. Perfect. So we've got that design. We've also got the stone colored background. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is click on this plus option and just copy that background color. And now for this, I'm going to match it up. So we've got the color set. Now we can see that this has a sans serif font, which is very different to this style. I might just leave that backdrop in just to see how it works for now. Because what we might do is just put it in a white block. And centrally align it to that container. I think it's slightly off centrally aligned because that container overlaps the edge of the page. So I'm going to bring that in and just double check that it is aligning to the center. I think it was right actually first time. Okay. We're going to get rid of that extra title. We're now going to change this to white background. So we've got that white tab then cutting into that backdrop. And this line here, then we're going to change to the charcoal color. And we're going to change these to match that charcoal color as well. So very much two-tone color. And now the final step is to find out that font, Evolve Sans. And now we can select all of the additional text. Might come back to that, but obviously that K isn't going to be useful to us anymore. So if I'm selecting all text or all images, I can change the colors for them at the same time. If you select text and image at the same time, you probably won't be able to do that. So check it's all got that same charcoal color. That's fine. And now we can change the font to one that's already on here, Evolve Sans. Now the irony is, I said we can do this without having to pay for the Pro account. Well, here the logos are only available on Pro account, and also the font selection here is the same. But if you substitute what I've done with your own logo, if you were to upload it and then match it up, then you'll be absolutely fine. So that's how we can take an existing template letterhead and match it up to a logo like this. Quite different letterhead designs, all created in Canva. The beauty of this now is we can share this with our clients if we're a designer, or alternatively, if you're designing your own and you wanted to go in and change the telephone number in 6 months' time, you can do that without having to go elsewhere. You can also duplicate the page and then remove all text out of the middle of the document, meaning that you have a printable letterhead there. If you're going to print it yourself, I would invert these, and I'll show you how you can do that. So what I want to do first, though, is to add the block color here. So it's matching, that's fine. We're going to change that to white. And now we have two different variations of that letterhead, depending on whether you're sending it off to be printed itself, and then you run it through the printer with your own text in this middle section, or whether you wanted to print your own and save on ink costs because you don't want that stone color covering the entire sheet. Also, if you're printing at home, it's very unlikely you're going to have edge-to-edge printing, so you'd always have that line around the outsides. Just the differences between the two different approaches. So if you're printing at home, I would probably just bring that in as well, because it's not going to print into the edge, so you just make it feel like it was intended this way all along. So I might even just reduce the size of it and have it as a tab aligned with this line at the bottom. Hope you found that helpful. Leave a comment for us if you've got any ideas of how we could improve this process, anything that you've done to manage your business stationery using Canva as well. Catch you next time.